aan voor.
We are on. Yeah, so I'm happy and thankful that you have managed to join us on this presentation. Our today's guest is Jean-Michel Bertoyas, who is a French author and who is on residency thanks to the Croatian Ministry of Culture and the French Institute. Jean-Michel, welcome to Croatia, welcome to us. So, first of all, the topic of this conversation should be independent and underground comics, which you are an aficionado and also an artist who currently lives and works from making underground and independent comics. Yeah. So first of all, we could compare how did the independent scene in France came to be? What are the first authors, when was it formed, and stuff like that?
Yes, about the constitution of independent comics in France.
Yeah.
It started with there is about 20 years ago. Before there is review like newspaper, like Urgent or something like this. And there is no. There was a new school of drawer who arrived, and a new generation, and they start to make independent comics. It's not. I think it starts because the newspapers fall, and with the fall of the newspaper, there is nothing to see new thing, and we have the obligation to make new books, independent books, because Metalor has finished, all the Asli, all the French newspaper, they are finished, so start to make books. And I think it's very important, to make self-publication, because you learn simply how to make little books. So now when the independent comics books arrived, there is 20 years ago, there is perhaps 5 editors in France. Now there is a lot of them.
And you publish where? When did you start publishing comics, and how the process went?
How the process starts with a big joke, A joke, it's a joke. Because there is an independent festival of comics, and if you are a new editor, like you can have a free table to put your production, okay? If you are young editors. So me, I made 5 little books with different names, but it's always easy. just a joke, I said there is Jean-Michel Bertoyas, there is Patrick Bulot, and Paul Goiff, and Fanny Darpa. This is, I made all the different books, and I said, I am a new editor, so I want a free table. It's a joke. And the guy they said, no, it's not different, this is you. They don't tell me, it's a joke. We start with a big joke. And after, it's good to make a joke, I think, because many people see that, and they buy my little comics, and I never go to see an editor like you with my draw, and I say, this is my work. You just see my little books, and I say, well, it's funny, okay, we're editing you now. And I work with books. It's with editors calling Les Rocs à Marteau. And after the second book is with l'association. It's independent who made, the Marjane Satrapi books called.
Also, Igor Hofbauer's books.
Yeah, Igor Hofbauer. But Persepolis, it was an international success. So they can make books with the poetic technique. So I love Marjane Satrapi.
So, for instance, in Croatia, independent comics started with a group called the New Square, or the New Panel, would be a better translation. One of them, Mr. Croatian P.E.N, had an exhibition recently in Zagreb, and if I'm not mistaken, you were.
I see the catalogue of the exhibition.
Yes, this is the catalog. Croatian P.E.N, among others, like Mirko Ilić or Igor Kode, they made a huge impact with their movement of the independent comics in Croatia, and after that there came new generations, which the current one, the current generation, we can call them us. We are presenting our comics in the Strip Prefix magazine. We publish two issues per year. It's 100 pages. It's short comics, like 4 to 16 pages. And we have a even newer generation coming up with works like Anna Maria Klas. She's an authoress from city of Čabar, but she finished Academy in Zagreb, and as I told you yesterday, she did this wonderful comic book about a fictional Dalmatian island called Mutare, where she tried to make the digestive of all the Dalmatian islands into one story of growing up and living on the islands. She represented it's actually a reportage, report from a fictional island, but she used all the real events and real troubles that people, and happiness or happy occasions that come to be by living on the island. It also can be part of the genre because it's a fictional island. Like you have alternative history, this can be regarded as alternative geography. So
Yes, but if you return to the history, not of independent comics, but adult comics in France, the Goal, this is Metal Hurlant. Metal Hurlant is the first science fiction with Moebius, Druillet, and there is Croatian artists inside. I don't know, perhaps you know the connection with Jean-Pierre Dionnet, the guy who made Metal Hurlant. There is two drivers who work with Jodorowsky.
Yeah, Zoran Janetov from Novi Sad. Also Borok Pavlović from Split, Igor Korde from Zagreb. There was actually, I heard Igor Korde describing how they came to work for Metal Hurlant. Before that was during Yugoslavia. In Paris there was an exhibition of Yugoslavian comics, and they were chosen to represent our comic book scene. And they went to Paris and met the team from they met Theodor Jodorowsky and all the guys, and they started publishing soon in France, also in Metal Hurlant.
So there is always
So the French were an inspiration for comic authors in
the first Croatian artist, I think it's Croatian, it's 81 in the Dargo, little books in Dargo. this is a big family, you know, with no frontier. So you can move with there is Italian people, or it's a family. So people who made comics, there is we move, we cross. There is no. I think it's like independent music. There is, we can see everybody what he made on the. It's a way.
It's about cooperation. So, but your comics, per se, what are the topics that you represent in your comics? The themes?
It's a lot of, I made perhaps one, two, three, perhaps 10 books with editing. It's a lot. The most of them are psychedelic, like the 70s spirit of psychedelism on the sets, like Robert Crumb, you know, like that. Now I am old, I try to make serious books with no sex.
You have gotten serious.
They're serious. And I want to mix psychedelic things with little politics and science thing. I think I want to open the lectorat. I don't know, the people who read. Because sometimes this is a very, very little books, you know, and there is like that. Comics with little stupid characters, you know. But they speak about with Althusser. It's very, very complex. You read the comics and you go, what? What I read is it's like Karl Marx in comics. You know. I think it's very funny to have a little psychedelic, to have a difficult text in little comics for every people. Because there is a weather. Because when I am a little boy in France, there is a comics journal called P.E.N. Here you must know P.E.N. P.E.N. It's a story with a dog and a cat, and there is this is like that P.E.N. This is all the.
That was a magazine, no?
Yeah, it's a magazine for the children, but inside there is Hugo Poit, and Machioli, and really, it's really creative. And it's
We had similar magazines in the 80s.
Yeah, because when I go to the French Institute, there was a discussion with old people from Zagreb. There is an old woman, she said me, oh, this looks like beef. Wow, yeah, it's white. Because I have a sort of, I want to do now popular comics. Little politics, but popular, not too much intellectual or too psychedelic or what. So this is a nostalgia, you know, of the thing. When I am a young boy, I read a P.E.N. So P.E.N. is very strange. It's strange to read. You know, Corto Maltese, it's complex. And this is the return of the P.E.N. power.
Your art is somewhat a product of a magazine that you read and you aspired to become an author that can make comics like those published in P.E.N. magazine. So. But what about the audience? What is their reaction on your comics? Do you have a huge audience? Do you have a small audience? How many copies do you publish?
Yes, now I am very, very proud because now there is a dictionary of comics author, French comics author, big books.
Yeah.
You know, and I am in a party. This is an anniversary, you know, it's on a friend, you have a present, this is a comics, French comics dictionary. And I said, oh, perhaps I am inside. I am inside.
Is it a large text or a small text?
There is two on three. It's important.
Yeah.
Only the guy said, where going Bertoyas? So I said, I am B for Bertoyas on a P for psychedelic. And he said nothing, it's a surprise for me. But I have a little audience because I have an audience with people who made comics, but I do not send a lot of books. But I have a little repetition, you know.
You're satisfied with your comics and with your artistic life?
Yes, it's, I think this is a part of my works. I can do, this morning at Osijek, here, at the School of Art, I said you can cross big draw, sculptures on comics. Don't make little box. I have a reputation to, because I made big draw, like that, like for the gallery. On the comics, there is trend, so I got a reputation but I just earn money with a workshop or something. There is nobody want to make a movie with that.
The Hollywood studios are not yet interested. Oh, they are missing.
But sometimes it's happened. The thing with all the series now it's not cinema, it's for the serial, you know,
series,
TV
series.
TV series.
Yeah.
There is what is the name of the you must pay to have this Netflix.
So you're waiting to be discovered by Netflix.
Yes, I got a friend called Leo Kivre. He made independent comics like you were on me on the recent. So his telephone rings. He said, yeah, it's New York. We want to make. So Netflix. So he said, what? It's a true story. But I think I don't want to. I can't do that. And I think. Comics books, like you do, it's unique. It's a mix of language and draw, and this is a unique media. When I am kid, when I see movie with my favorite comics characters, oh no, this is the power of comics. It's not like cinema. It's just you can. When after P.E.N, I read a lot of American comics like Fantastic Four or the Marvel stuff. I go to the space with them. I don't go to the space with Tintin. I don't like Tintin. But with heroic fantasy on American, it's the experience of reading comics. It's just unique, you know.
Also, the current independent scene in France, it's very large, so to say. But could you? What are the main editions? What are the main publishers that do publish independent comics?
I don't know.
Probably Association, you mentioned that before.
Yeah. There is a lot of things now, you know, and it's not a problem, but there is this is not like Croatia. In France there is many people, and there is many in all big cities there is a publisher of comics, you know. That's the why.
So you can limit it down to Lyon. So
Lyon?
The scene in Lyon.
Yeah.
But your publisher is in Lyon or?
No, it's no, they're in Paris. They're in Paris. No,
You don't work with you don't work with the smaller publishers in Lyon.
No. just one. And he made very good books, but no, I work with. They are all in Paris. You know, comics is a little snob now. They are in Paris. But for example, Marseille, it's in the south of France, so there is independent comics makers, like there is Girls Two Sisters. They made an edition called Même pas mal. They made very good books with a new generation of female artists. Yeah, that sounds very cool, because she has another vision of the comics. I think it's very important. They are not in Paris.
Some has to live in Marseille.
Même pas mal, it's really cool. So there is independent comics. It's now it's Europe. You know, you can move to Madrid or you can move to. I go to Lisboa. Lisboa now there is a little comic-con like here, everywhere. It's great. Really.
Well, our comic book association, on paper it sounds quite nice. You know, there are 30 members, but not all of them are living in Osijek. They are across Croatia. So we see that. But we are thankful for the public that is here. But all the other that didn't show up will get minuses on the next meeting. But you had the experience of leading two workshops at the Academy of Arts in Osijek. So the students had to attend, but they did some work. How is that experience? What did you make them do?
Yes.
What was the task that was
I tried to transform the student in mad people. I said, okay, we made a comic just with a little plastic robot with a orange, you know, with a Katy Perry picture. On the three, it's how to start a story with little different elements. And they all look at me like that. Very strange. And they start to work on it. It's open. It's very cool. I stayed 2 days here. It's but on the technical, you know, when I see them drawing, I said, okay, I take the train. So a good level of
technique?
Yeah, technique.
That's nice. They just need to work on their imagination somewhat.
Yeah.
That's why I liked your assignment. You know, to mix an orange, a single pop star like Katy Perry, and a robot who is from China, if I'm not mistaken. A general robot, but in the particular case you found him in some newspaper as a robot running a marathon. So these are the tasks that you have sent to before the students. How do you like? You have now seen some of our comics. You have been to an exhibition. You are going to Zagreb Comic Con. What are your impressions about, let's say, our comics or something like that?
Yeah. So this is the Comic Con next week.
Yeah.
I see the exhibition of him. for example.
Zimunic.
Yes, it's cool. And there is an exhibition just in the front of the French Institute. And I don't know, I try to meet people with email, but I think they are afraid. Say, hey, I'm here, we can meet you because I make comics.
Well, I have his contact. I can send you if you want to. He likes to drink coffee, so you can grab a cup of coffee with pleasure if you have the time.
Okay. But I think I meet people at the Comic Con, and there is the festival of animation. There is many people who come to work. So now I know this man.
You met Marko yesterday, and here is here is our young ace Stjepan.
Okay.
Tomorrow he will be leading workshops at the Pannonian Book Fair, and as I'm informed, we are
Maya was a teacher.
who is an assistant. She's not a teacher. She's
Okay.
just an assistant.
But she don't make comics. She just work.
She used to make comics. She now does, как се каже, sad sam zaboravio. I'm stuck, I cannot remember the word. Slikovnice. Picture books for Muslims. Yeah. So I'm disappointed that she went to other medium because I remember her from 24-hour comic book day that she did some nice comics.
It's normal because comic it's too long to make. I just finished a big book now with 150 pages. I speak about that. It's too long. I made all the colors on Photoshop I said. I stopped it and I moved to Croatia. Yeah, this is the way. From here I just made Fredo. I stopped comics by 1 month. But now he made me the question because he wants to work together.
Well, we have this magazine. You are an artist making comics.
It's very cool.
We have small amounts of money to pay. Very small.
Yeah, but it's not a problem because I eat only little something.
You will get by.
So yes, it's really nice to. I made a duo for Lebanese comics called Samandal. For one in the USA and now with in Croatia. I worked 10 years ago with the Novodoba.
Novodoba Festival.
Yeah. And it's a big question because he said you can write about your experience here. Okay.
Those bastards made me do comics and I decided not to do comics for a month.
So I made comics with a very surrealistic approach. For example, I moved here or I moved to the web, I see, okay, that's strange, I take a photograph after when I made this sort of books, it's like a puzzle. I meet people, I meet situation, and I mixed. It's a different way. Different works are traditional comics with a story, a project. Very. It's like a reportage, I'm in Cheshire, this is like a walk, this is a regulation. So I move and I do it. I see. It's another way to make. For example, there is we speak. We always speak in French. Moebius. Moebius. I really I stopped Moebius because I am too when I am young. big influence maybe, so I start to think, maybe stop. Okay. And there is perhaps 3 months.
But you didn't say to Robert Crumb to start,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
instance.
so big influence over that. Yeah, so big influence. Yes, but Robert Crumb is no sex. And with this, I read it. This is it's called Edena words. You know the words, there is 5 books. And you are really in his head, in the space, you know, space fantasy with this very and one moment, at the end of the comics, you just open the door, the window, and say, Napoli is beautiful. I said, wow, this guy is so good. It's a good. No.
So we actually have a few guys that do comics somewhat like maybe in Serbia there is Zoran Nenadov and Nenadov. There are actually 2 guys. I don't know if there are more. In Croatia there is Matija Pisačić. You have his comics somewhere back that we have published. It's somewhat influenced also by Mebius. And so that's 3, but I think there are 5 or 6 guys with quite similar style. You have only 1 Mebius. We have 5, 6.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yes, I think there is 2 reasons because it's very free. The stories, it's like improvisation. Sometimes we use it's open. It's open it's a genius. It's more okay, but it's open doors to make improvisation.
The meta language of comics.
Yeah.
Comics about comics.
Yeah. It's really.
So even Zimonjić, there is some influence.
Yeah.
I hope he will not watch this and come to chase me down.
I think there is in Croatia there is a real tradition of drawing. Because when I made a workshop with young people, with students, now they all made manga. I have no problem with manga, but when I arrived yesterday at Osijeku to School of Art, I said, you don't make manga? Yeah, it's incredible. And there was a girl said, I made manga, you have a problem with manga? I said, yes, I do. But sometimes it's always the same. No, we can reason, there is beautiful things in manga. But for example, there is 2 years ago, I stayed 2 months in Mexico. In Mexico, young student who made comics, they made manga. I said, you make manga, you are in Mexico. How it's possible? It's you know, the culture like manga culture. But manga sometimes is good. It's good manga. I must check.
So beside your comics, obviously, who would you also recommend from independent comics scene for our public or the viewers to find, to research, to read, beside you, of course? Who would you recommend for the public to try to find the comics?
In French?
From France. From your circle, from your reading taste, who would be that you recommend from independent scene? Some friend of yours or author?
I think one of the most incredible comics is Mouse from the Art Spiegelman.
So that he's an American.
Yeah, he's American.
But we have read it. You know, we would like a recommendation from France, from your circle of authors.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I have problems now with What a question! For example,
among your friends.
Yes,
You can name a few of them.
yes, I think David Bay.
David
Bay.
Bay.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know, it's difficult because the problems we have in France now, the problems is because it's not at you. We don't have magazine, it's finished. So we
But there are fanzines, but also we
Yeah,
have one
but-
French edition, which is actually a really nice magazine, Freak Show Comics.
there is for sure.
Yep, they publish
Yeah,
in Croatian
yeah,
artists.
I meet this guy.
You met him?
Yeah, in Valence, yeah. But
Also, metal Angouleme start again.
yes, but actually, it's study, it's too expensive. I think comics, this is for it's not. I think it's we lose now. It's a luxury object.
Yeah,
It's a problem. It's a problem. What is it? It's very expensive. Metal what there is all material inside. It's a remix. It's expensive.
How much does the metal Angouleme cost now? Was
I don't know. It's
like 20 euros?
yeah, like 30 euros.
30?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I really have nostalgia when I am my parents, for example, or my they read comics like Razor. It's not expensive now. It's luxury, you know.
But it's due to the fact that the audience is quite smaller, the publications have small, like 300 copies, 1,000 copies. You have to put the larger price for it because nowadays there are not like 40,000 copies of a magazine. Even in former Yugoslavia, there were comic book magazines that went in 200,000. For instance, the Plavi Vjesnik was called the edition, the blue. Blue News. It was Blue News, and they had, but it was in the 60s. You know, there was no internet, there was no TV, so it was a reasonable for a reasonable, very cheap price. You could have gotten comics from Yugoslavia or the world in those magazines. But nowadays, you know, we can publish 2 issues per year, and it's like 8 euros. It's a fair price.
It's not one price. Yes. But I have a question.
Oh, shoot.
What do you think about immaterial comics?
Online comics.
Yeah, online.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned before that we have that 24-hour comic book day. Yeah. So all the comics from there are on the website, and you can read it for free. So every year in Croatia we produce like thousands or so pages of free independent comics that are free to read. So I think it's a good thing for authors to put some material for free on the internet, so that we get them hooked, and that we can sell them like this edition for just 30 euros, full color, available at all the best bookshops in Croatia. But joking aside, yeah, the internet can be a useful tool, especially for connecting authors and the public. We mostly use Facebook for such things because our Facebook group has like 2,000 members, but you know, not all of them are artists, not all of them are just public. There can be people who occasionally read comics or occasionally draw comics. So we try to use those advantages of modern technology to make connections.
And you can read the comics on the tablets? Or not?
Yeah, I can. Even on the small screen.
Not me.
Yeah. But I have a somewhat large collection of printed editions. I like 1,500 issues, something like that. It's getting bigger all the time. And I like in space, also publishing stuff, you know. And you, what is your view of the internet comics?
There was a friend who made a collection called RVB. RVB, so you buy little cards with a code. It's like a postcard, you know. And you have like when you play, you can write on the numbers. This is like 5 euro, and with that number you go to see the comics.
Oh.
But he asked me if I want to do something with the music, but I think I must find a new expression, you know, like something with move, like animation, you know.
There's something that will be specialized for that kind of view.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can't, my brain is not ready for that.
Oh.
But I think it's interesting. It's perhaps it's the future of the ecologists. You know, we just have a little number. But I don't
Also, but those internet websites also use power to servers use even water, so it's not quite eco-friendly. You cannot have all of those guys that print themselves, you know, few copies of books. They're the most eco-friendly team, UI.
Yeah.
So, like Novodoba does, for instance. So, I think that we covered somewhat of important topics, but also because we have this wonderful audience, if they have something to ask, feel free to do so. Oh, so no? We will buy you a coffee afterwards. Just one question. Oh, here you go.
What have you been interested the most since you are here in Zagreb? What is your main?
So this is Osijek.
Yes, in Zagreb. Sorry, no, I want to say in Croatia, but my tongue flips. But what have you been interested the most since you are here in Croatia? What is the topic in Croatia that is very interesting to you?
You know, it's for this time I just walk on visit, and after I think I walk, and this is a thing. There is an atmosphere, something. There is something I love, like go to the fair markets to find all comics on record. But I don't know. I have no. I think it's like the night, the dream. And so I walk, and in the morning, when I open my eyes, before coffee, I said, I got an idea for a new work. So I have it's not something very like that. Or I think people are very quiet here, and it's very très agréable, very sympathetic. People are very cool. And it's not like Mexico, for example.
We like the cactuses and stuff like that.
You can see the exhibition in the museum. There is no guy with a gun. It's big exhibition. But I don't know now. It's like I eat material thing in my brain. And after.
So we need to tell the Museum of Fine Arts in Osijek, where this is filmed, that they need a guy with a gun on the door, or...
No, but it's...
It's not like Mexico, where is it?
It's difficult to say what I like, I just have a mission, you know. My mission is to see the Great Animation School original store.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the cross animation and the music. Like, so crazy. Because you know what, when you're drawing, I have my table, I don't move a lot because I am big now. And I hear a lot of things, and before I go in Croatia, I see or I hear a lot of Croatian production of the 60s because the music are so creative.
It's a bit psychedelic, that's why you love
my big fantasy is to come back to put many doors in a room with a musician, like, and we do with music, a strange music like you must Minica or the guy who made the short film, I don't know, they're very creative. This is a creative for one reason. I read a book about that because this is for the international market. So they can speak only in Croatia. So it's like it's not like Disney. It's only with the speed, the idea, the colors, and the song. There is no in French we said this is the Little Mickey Jacasson. Jacasson c'est on the Croatian schools for international students. For me it's very interesting. And it's a big fantasy to put people who draw on their music.
Well, you were at the archives of the Zagreb School of Animation. If I'm not mistaken, you took some pictures of work of Zlatko Bobrek. Also Krešimir Zimunic did a few short animated movies, and based on his interview, he's the last member of the. After his work, the school. It's regarded that the school stopped really working. Of course, there's always animation in Zagreb and in other places, but that period lasted like from 1940s to 1980s. So it was a good run, 40 years or something like that. They even won an Oscar for the short animated called Surrogat.
Video kind of psychedelic music.
You can do great impressions of that kind of music. I cannot do that. So you can do the odjavna špica. Outro sound for the end of it.
There is a Croatian tradition of experimental film. When I go to the Museum of Art, there is the 70s or the 70 cinetic, cinetic works. It's more, like this is they call it new school. The new school is it's about art and mathematics, and apparition, and very experimental. And I am not an intellectual. I made comics, but it's fascinating me. I say, wow, they have the universe very strange, with the sculpture, you can move around, they are changing, You know what I mean?
I get the picture.
Yeah, like Soto, or this sort of guy who made this is a cinetic painting.
Okay.
Smooth. This is test MSc.
Well, interdisciplinary arts.
Yeah.
So it's always a good thing to watch other expression of arts.
Yeah.
They get new ideas of expression.
It's very important. What I said today at the student in art, about comics is important. I love comics, but little kids, sometimes it's little jet, no? You must look to open and see the film for the future panel on the two machines.
So we can reach the end. You can do an outro by imitating Croatian music from a Croatian.
Okay.
So here you go. The sound.
The sound?
Yeah. For the outro sound for the.
Like,
Yeah. Thank you.